Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. It's Emilie here, and in this episode I'm really excited because we are finishing off the polar bear habitat in Nunivaq Village. Thank you guys so much for your patience for part 2. Just with the holidays and everything, my schedule got pretty busy and this build took a good amount of time. So thank you guys for your patience once again. I believe this habitat turns out amazing. There's still some work to do at the end and you'll be able to see that, but as far as I'm concerned, the habitat is complete. I just need to finish up the building a little bit, but that will be in a different episode. I am so happy with how this turned out. But yeah, how was the holidays for you guys? I personally celebrate Christmas, and for the other ones who celebrate Christmas, Merry Christmas to you guys. And if you don't celebrate Christmas, then happy holidays. I know Hanukkah's around this time too. I'm not quite sure about any of the other holidays, so please don't get mad at me if I didn't mention your holiday. Bottom line is that it's a special time for family and friends, and that's what really matters. I don't believe the name on it is that, what am I trying to say? The name on your holiday doesn't change the significance of this time of year. So I hope you guys are enjoying the holiday spirit. This exhibit, I think it's just breathtaking. So right here, I'm just using that concrete wall to really help me build like an actual brick, natural looking wall, and it just turns out so nice. I love it. It took me a hot minute, and then I decided to do 2 stories. So instead of just doing it and adding a whole nother story on top and doing that all over again, I think I pretty much just copied it on top, and it does not look like it was copied. Like, just the way it was built, it just blends in and it just looks like a giant carved rock right there. And this is kind of inspired by the Denver Zoo. A lot of my habitats are going to be inspired by the Denver Zoo, just because that's the zoo I grew up with. And so at the Denver Zoo, when they had polar bears, they had like a rock backdrop kind of, and then there was a little hideaway for the polar bears to go into their inside captivity, and that wasn't open to the public. You couldn't see behind the rock, but I wanted to do that for this build because I kind of wanted an indoor viewing area for guests, just because the tundra would get so cold that whenever you can get a quick little break from the cold, I bet you these guests are going to love it and take it. And also, you'll see it in a little bit later, but I'll bring the water into the indoor exhibit as well. Like, I just think the indoor habitat and the outdoor habitat work so well together. It just kind of flows. I'm really excited about it. The polar bears as well, they use both the indoor and the outdoor. I feel like they're out there equally, and typically the 2 polar bears that I have in here don't per se follow each other around. Like, they have their space, so a lot of times one will be outdoors, one will be indoors, so it's good for like all of the viewing platforms. And I'm just really excited. I was doing research on some polar bears, and I know that polar bears aren't the best to have in zoos, and I know a lot of people don't agree with it, but I really tried to make this habitat as natural as possible, and having it be in the tundra where it's in its, you know, natural biome, I feel like it's not that cruel and not that bad as some other cases in the real life for polar bear captivity. Like, I remember there was this video on, I think, Twitter, and it went viral, of just this polar bear in a small little concrete box in some I think Chinese mall. Like, it wasn't even a zoo. It was the saddest thing, and he was so emaciated. I'm trying to remember how to pronounce the word, but he was just super skinny. Like, obviously wasn't getting good enough food or nutrition. So yeah, that part's sad, and I don't agree with bad captivity of animals, if that makes sense. Like, I think captivity is good. I don't know why I'm talking about, like, my personal beliefs on this channel, but personally, like, I'm studying zoology. Like, I'm really into wildlife conservation, and sometimes you have to keep some animals in captivity in order to monitor breeding and animal behaviors, and how to further benefit the species and help them out going along in the future, trying to conserve species. Like, there are so many endangered animals on the endangered animals list now. I don't even remember the count, but I know it's insane. It'll make your jaw drop. So if you don't know, like, go and Google that right now, because you will be surprised. So just about conservation, like, I did have a male and female polar bear in this habitat, because if we could get polar bear cubs, that would be so amazing. But I know that it is very difficult for polar bear cubs to be born in captivity. I forget which YouTuber I was watching recently, but when he posted his video, he said that no polar bear cubs have been born in captivity. So the likelihood of us getting cubs is very, very slim, and I'm aware of that, but I still put them in there, and hopefully we'll be able to get some cubs. However, I think it was like Rudy Camel, right? That's the YouTuber's name? I believe that's him. He's the one who said that there was no polar bears born in captivity. However, I don't know how long ago his video was posted. I doubt it would be too long ago, since polar bears haven't been in the game for too long. But the Denver Zoo actually gave up their 2 polar bears. I don't remember when. I believe it was in the summer of 2019, if I am correct, but I'm just pulling that out of my behind, so it may be completely incorrect, so do not quote me on that. But they were actually relocated to different zoos for mating purposes. And Lee, one of the polar bears at the Denver Zoo, actually fathered a cub. Let's see. So he fathered a cub at the Columbus Zoo. So it's really exciting. And the cub was born on Thanksgiving Day. And the mother's name is Aurora, which is really cool because that's a city in Colorado. So I don't know. I think it's just a cute little patronage that Denver gave to the Polar Bear Society and the work towards conservation. So if what Rudy Camel said was true, that no polar bears have been born in captivity, then Lee, the polar bear from the Denver Zoo, is the first to sire a cub in captivity, which is insane. But if you look up polar bear cub born in zoo, you can look at the video of the little baby being born at the Columbus Zoo. There's a bunch of videos on YouTube and stories and all that, and it's really cool to read and look at. So I definitely suggest going and looking at that. because it is so amazing and just spectacular. But yeah, I was just trying to do some research on polar bears because like I know some stuff. Like I know that polar bears have black skin, which I remember when I learned like that's crazy, but yeah, they actually have black skin and their fur like appears to be white, but it's actually transparent. So I think that's really kind of unique and something you wouldn't know about the polar bears, just by looking at them. They're also the largest carnivore that lives on land. And I read somewhere that male polar bears can weigh up to the size of 10 men, which is insane. But females can be like half the size of men. I think the size disparity is kind of insane to think. Like, imagine if, like, obviously I'm a female, if you couldn't tell by my voice, but imagine like if I was half the size of like guys. Like, I'm short as it is, but being half the size, that's insane to think about. Also, when I was looking up the conservation work and the captivity debate and stuff, the internet says that polar bears can live to 20 to 30 years, but only a small amount of polar bears live past 15 to 18 years in captivity. Oh wait, I might have read that wrong. There's a comma that I'm missing. So polar bears can live 20 to 30 years, but probably only a small amount of polar bears live past 15 to 18 years. And I believe that 15 to 18 years is in the wild. And that would make sense. There's they face a lot of issues, even past climate change, which is what I know a lot of people are aware of for the polar bears challenges. But while climate change remains the greatest threat to the polar bear's survival, it's not all that the predator's up against. So the oil and gas industry is turning its eyes to the Arctic, and with it comes potential risks of habitat destruction from oil exploration work. And then the contact with oil spills can actually reduce the insulating effect of a bear's fur, requiring them to use more energy to get warm. And when you need more energy, you need to get more food. But with climate change and the ice caps melting, it's harder to get food, and they'll have to swim longer distances. And it's just a domino effect that is insane. I don't think companies realize what they do to the climate, and I know as an individual, like, I try my best to reduce my carbon footprint, but me not using plastic straws and me turning off the light and not littering, although that stuff is amazing and everyone should work on improving that, and if we all did it as a whole, it would help, I still believe that the main issue is big companies. And then it also said that the oil obviously can poison them if it's ingested, which is so sad to think about. And then polar bears can also be exposed to toxic chemicals such as pesticides through their prey, which can affect a bear's biological functioning and ability to reproduce, which is also really sad because the polar bear's population, I believe, is expected to decline by, 30% by 2050. And so if they keep ingesting these toxic chemicals and it continues to malfunction their ability to reproduce, where reproducing is hard enough as it is for polar bears right now, it's just crazy how everything connects, and there's such a ripple effect, and it's just hard to think about, like, on a large scale, I guess. Like, people don't understand that every action you take has a reaction, and it affects so many things. Oh my god, I don't know why. I'm like such an animal person. So just the thought of animals, what's the word? The thought of animals, you know, going extinct and being affected by human interaction makes me really sad. So I'm like not crying, but I have tears in my eyes because it's sad to think, and I feel ashamed sometimes.
Merry Christmas!
But, I think when I was doing my research, I was on WWF's website, and you can adopt a polar bear, and I might do that. That might be my little Christmas present to myself. I might adopt a polar bear, donate to whatever conservation efforts that WWF think will be best for my polar bear. In third grade, I adopted a shark, and that was super cool. Her name was like Surfboard or something. I don't know. I didn't get to choose the name or whatever, but it was so cool. I definitely suggest looking into adopting an animal, if that makes sense. And it depends on where you buy it from, but like the shark, the one I bought, like it had a tracker on it, so I could see where my shark was and all her stats. So it's pretty cool. I definitely suggest looking into that. It's because you donate, but you also kind of get like a personal thing back, and you're like, I own a polar bear. I don't know. It's just a cool thing. If you're looking to just donate some money, I definitely suggest looking at adopting an endangered animal. Also, I don't know if people know, but polar bears, when you think of them, at least I do, I personally think like they would reside in the Arctic, right? That's just what makes sense. But with climate change and all that, they're actually getting like pushed further south. So I've heard of stories of polar bears getting into like Canada and even close to North America, if I am being honest. I think maybe like in Alaska for sure, but like close to the US and Canada border. And with that, they are starting to have mixing population habitats. Oh my god, I'm not using the right words at all, so please excuse me, but they're mixing populations with grizzly bears. And as recently as 2006, genetic testing confirmed the existence of polar bear grizzly bear hybrids. And then listen to their nicknames. They're either known as growler bears or pizzly bears. And I think that's so funny. But the hybrid physically resembles an intermediate between the two species, but as wild hybrids are usually birthed from polar bear mothers, they are raised and behave like polar bears. The ability for polar bears and grizzly bears to interbreed is unsurprising when you consider that polar bears evolved from brown bears as recently as 150,000 years ago. Which is so funny to me because they're like, oh, recently, and then it's in my head so long ago. But in terms of a biological time scale, that is like a few years ago. So yeah, I think that's kind of cool. I feel like that's a hybrid that not a lot of people know about. So personally about me, I studied biology a lot in high school and college. I've been passionate about animal sciences ever since I was a little girl. So I always read about animals. I always had fun fact books. Biology was always an easy class for me just because I was so passionate about it, and I would like learn this stuff on my own time. And I didn't even know that they were hybrids. So when I found that out, I thought that was pretty cool. Like I knew they were having competing habitat starting recently. Like they were starting to mix in habitats, but I didn't know that they were mating. So I don't know. I just think the names are so funny. Like a Pizzly bear. Come on, that is so cute. I don't really like roller bear, but Pizzly bear, that's the one. That if I see a Pizzly bear, I think my life would be complete. Oh yeah. But I just added this little fence right here. I don't really need it. It's more of like look-wise, because I feel like if I was right there next to a polar bear exhibit and there wasn't anything per se there, like it was just the fence and then like habitat, like I'd be pretty freaked out. So I just put that there, even though it says, the game says it can't escape there. And then you might have just saw I was like underground. That happened by mistake when I was doing terrain work, and it was kind of messing with the polar bear's terrain stats for his habitat. So I was under there painting the terrain, making it fit for the polar bear. But I think I'm gonna put like a train or something going through right there. I think that would be really, really beautiful. I might have part of an enclosure there. Like I was thinking the Arctic wolf, like the train would go by the Arctic wolf den or something under there. I don't know. Just something I'm thinking about. I have a bunch of ideas like storming and pooling in my head. So I don't know, Nunivaq Village just makes me really, really excited. I don't think you guys understand. But yeah, let me know how you're liking this series so far. I know I really only have one habitat, but if you guys have any feedback, anything you want to see, anything like you think I should implement into my zoo, like please feel free to comment down below. Let me know. I love building zoos off of community feedback, so don't be afraid to let me know. I love hearing people's opinions. Also, let me know if you want to see a Nunivaq Village episode next, or an Ustawi Havana episode. I do have a franchise episode recorded. I just had to edit it and upload it, but you know, I can also do another franchise zoo. I like the franchise zoo, but I can only play little bits at a time, and it just kind of slows it down for me. I think if I would play offline and didn't upload content, I would love it, because it reminds me more of Zoo Tycoon, just the money aspect. I mean, I love having unlimited cash and CC, but I don't know, sometimes I like a challenge. And I joined a Facebook community lately with Planet Zoo, and so many people said their zoos are failing and that they have to start all over, and so I'm really scared that my zoo's gonna fail. Because I have the habit of just spending all my money and then hoping for the best, and that is in the game and in real life too. So I'm just hoping that I'll be fine. I don't know, if it goes kerplunk, I'll just start a new one and it'll be whatever, but I am worried. Excuse me. Ooh. Alright, also, the roofing on this building, I kind of wanted it to mimic mountains. Almost, my inspiration, kind of, was the DIA airport roof. And if you've ever flown into DIA, they have like, it's not like a tarp, but it kind of looks like a tarp, but a just big white tarp with it just looks like mountains, but it's not mountains. I don't know, it's kind of hard to explain. Definitely look up a picture, but I kind of wanted to do that, but I didn't think it looked good in the game, so I did these tiered roofing stuff to kind of mimic mountains, and I think it turned out pretty good. I kind of started here, and then the other half of the roof, which you'll see later, I just kind of topped it off because I didn't know if I wanted to do a more like a mountain look, or if I wanted to just do more skylights. I didn't know what I wanted to do, so I just kind of left it. So if you have any suggestions of what I do, comment down below. Let me know. Like, I don't know. I love this game, so I just love the creative freedom it gives you, if that makes sense. You can literally build anything. It's amazing. I'm so happy with this game, guys. If you are watching my videos and you don't have it and you're just watching to see creators build because you're not able to get it, I definitely suggest trying your best to invest in this game. If you are unsure, I'm just letting you know that I do not regret it at all. I could literally spend all day playing this game and building and, you know, putting animals in my zoo and then seeing my animals have little babies. It is so amazing. I love it. And it's so beautiful. I wish you guys could understand. Like in those scenic shots in the beginning, the northern lights, oh my god. And then you'll see later, when I kind of go through everything that I did in this habitat, at dawn when the sun comes up from the mountains and it just glows off of everything. Oh my gosh. I am a big nerd for beautiful sunrises and sunsets. It's amazing. And I know I talk about Colorado a lot, but Colorado has some amazing sunrises and sunsets. So even though this is in the tundra, it did remind me of Colorado. I don't know, guys. If you live in Colorado, you understand that you don't want people to move to Colorado because we are getting so populated. Lately, our population has been rising like crazy, and so we always tell everyone, like, oh, Colorado sucks, don't move here, it's the worst. But I love Colorado. Yeah. Like, I want to move somewhere else, like another state, just to try it, just to move to another state. But every time I go on vacation, I'm like, ugh, it's so humid here, I wish I was back in Colorado. I'm like, ugh, it's so hot here, like, I wish I was back in Colorado, or just anything. Like, Colorado is truly home to me. I was born and raised here. I love it. And a lot of people think Colorado snows like a lot, but we get, what's the saying? We get 350 days of sunshine or something like that. Like, it'll snow one day, right? We'll get a blizzard one day, the next day sun's completely out, the snow is melting. Like, you could go outside with, like, I don't know, regular winter clothes. You don't need like a coat or anything. And I don't know, it's just really beautiful and amazing. And we've honestly, I can't remember the last time we've had a white Christmas, if that makes sense. So yesterday for Christmas, like, I wore a t-shirt and jeans, and we ate our Christmas meal outside because it was like 65 degrees, it's sunny, like, we had the doors open. It was just a beautiful day yesterday. I don't know. So although I love a white Christmas because it kind of gives you that Christmas feeling, it was kind of cool to have, like, I don't know, a Florida Christmas. That's what we compared it to. So yeah. Also right here, with these beams, I didn't know how to kind of close off the habitat and the roof, but I honestly like the way the beams turned out. I think it looks really nice, and it gives it that kind of like that rustic Nordic vibe, but also the modern vibe to it, and it just looks so good. I'm just so proud of this habitat, guys. You don't understand. I am so excited to show it to you guys. This was a great habitat to start off with. I am so proud of it. It took me hours, and I'm not even lying about that. Like, these speed builds I put on 8 times faster than like the video I put it on 8 times speed, if that makes sense. So it's like, it looks quick here, but it took me forever. And I still have so much work to do, but I'm not like, ugh, I have so much to do. I'm like, oh my gosh, what am I gonna do next? Like, how is this gonna go? How is this gonna end up? Like, ooh, I'm just so excited for it. But yeah, I hope you guys are excited too for the rest of this video. I was gonna try and talk this whole time, but I feel like I'm just talking your guys' ear off. So I'm going to just let you enjoy this speed build for the remainder, and then I'll come back at the end and just do a little overview of the habitat. But yeah, enjoy guys. Alright guys, so it's currently dawn at Nunivaq Village. As you can see, the pretty colors coming off the mountains from the sun coming up over there. So here is our finished polar bear exhibit. I still have more to do. I kind of want to get a nicer viewing area right here. I just kind of have some chairs, trash, bins, you know. I want to do something nice there. Clean this up a little bit. Look at how cool, like, the ice rocks glow. I need to fix up the waterfall. Other than that, I think it looks amazing. So I kind of did this in part 1, and then in this final part, as you just saw, I did this, and this still has a lot more work to do as well. I just wanted to get like the habitat kind of done and focus on the building in another episode. But I know I showed you guys this in part 1, but I'm just showing it to y'all again. This is the underwater viewing. If you have any better ideas for the title here, let me know. We have this little viewing area, which I think is really nice. I'm so sorry, my puppy is begging for attention right now. He's okay, I promise. I have this nice little viewing area as well in here. They haven't crossed the ice bridge yet, so I'm hoping that they do it. But yeah, look at how nice this is. So we have this building. We come in through here, and we have the indoor viewing exhibit for the polar bears. And this isn't done yet. I'm going to probably put some like glass floor in here just so you can, and maybe like have a river or something kind of coming through that you can look down at. And then I'll have like a little viewing area here with some shops and some big windows so they can sit and look out on the Arctic tundra. And then of course this building is going to come across and and capture all of that, but I will do that, and then either the next episode, I might do another habitat before I get back to doing this building, but it will be in an episode by itself. And then I'm probably going to fix up this part of the roof just because it's really monotonous. I don't think I want to do like the near the tier thing, but I'll probably do the same thing like I did over almost there. I'll probably do the same thing that I did right here, where I'll just like build it up a little bit, put some more skylight in there, and call that good right there. And then I have to enclose this area and kind of finish the building. But all I needed was for the polar bears not to escape and them to have a complete habitat, and that's what we have. Okay, I'm so sorry about my puppy. Oh, he's gonna use it. That is so cool. You cannot tell me that doesn't look amazing. Right into the water. Wow. Look it! Oh, I love it when they turn and then like kind of go like straight up like that. I think it looks so awesome. I think this habitat looks absolutely breathtaking and amazing, and I love the mix of the modern building here with the more architectural, the Scandinavian. Oh, look at him run! Sorry, I got sidetracked. The Scandinavian building style here, and I don't know, like it's all just so amazing. But look at, they are running. I wonder what's in there. As you can see, they have like a little entrance area. They're gonna call Maul the zookeeper. That's what they're gonna do. Alright guys, that is it for this episode. Thank you so much for watching. Go ahead and give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. And don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss any of the other episodes of Nunivaq Village. I also have a big cat conservation park that I'm working on called Usta We Havana. And I also have a franchise park that I'm working on as well. So I just have a bunch of videos. Hopefully they'll be up shortly. Just kind of getting up with the new year. But I'm trying to get back to uploading every day in 2020. But yeah, thank you guys so much once again, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!